Welcome everyone to another episode of It Came From Facebook. Today we're looking at Dallas, Texas, a metroplex near and dear to my heart. I spent many years living in the DFW area, bopping around from Frisco, Plano, Richardson, downtown Dallas. I lived there for I think a total of 10 years, so pretty familiar with the old metroplex with its LBJ Expressway, the Dallas Autobahn, and all sorts of fun shenanigans up there. Not much by way of twisty roads, but some fantastic racetracks in the metropolitan area. And today we're looking at some cursed and good listings from the area. So what we like to do in this video is show you guys listings that are worth your time, not worth your time, and find some that are just way out there and wacky and just have some fun. So let's dive into the first listing. You have to do it to them, a really strange one. 2004 Harley Davidson FLSTF Softtail. Now, I will be the first to admit, I don't know a whole lot about Harley Davidsons. I don't know a whole lot about the Softtail line, the 2004, all this stuff. The one thing I do know is that these images are unbelievably low res. This is like straight up 2004 uploading onto MySpace kind of stuff. But the best part is that wonderful airbrush paint job. And you gotta see this description to the side. This person says, there is no describing this motorcycle without you seeing it in person. This is the owner's personal bike slash baby, and he has done a complete frame off rebuild of this bike. I don't know who the owner they're referring to is. I don't know what's the owner of, because right now I'm just like, yes, the owner of this bike is its personal bike. I'm not really sure. $14,981 for this thing. It says almost everything on this bike is either new or upgraded. It's a must-see only. The bike has Avon tires wrapped in 18-inch wheels. The True Flames paint job was done by Lawton Boys Customs in Orange County, California. The best of the best. Yeah, I don't know if this right here is the best of the best. Again, the image appears to be so low res, but it doesn't really look that good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit strange. This person says there's so much written here. I'm gonna spare you guys. I'm not gonna read all this. It's call the owner, Jamie, if interested. Here at Texas Best Pre-Owned, we do things a little bit different than other dealers. We do not negotiate, blah, blah, blah. We're not collectors. We're just a bunch of dealership garbage. So this seems to be listed by some sort of dealership or some sort of entity because it's the owner's personal bike. The owner of what? I have no idea. So some sort of super custom Harley Davidson, some questionable paint job decisions here. We're gonna rate this one a 6 out of 10. I think there's some cool stuff going on with it. It's clearly been highly modified. It is certainly not my bag. The Harley Davidson stuff is really not me. But yeah, if you're into this sort of thing, you know, maybe it's a good deal. I don't know. This is not really my sort of thing. So let's keep it moving. Find something that is my sort of thing. This 2013 BMW HP4 Competition. Whew. Look how nice this thing looks, guys. 2013 was a good year for the S1000RR. You had the asymmetric headlights. I still think this is one of the coolest designs that BMW did. It was so iconic, and to me it really, in my brain, is still what I think of an S1000RR whenever I think S1000RR. I don't think of the new one with the winglets and all that. I think of this asymmetric headlight one. The HP4 was a limited edition kind of track spec bike. This guy has really gone over this bike with a fine-tooth comb and done a lot of go fast fun goodies on it. So $13,800 is actually relatively good for this thing. 31,000 miles is a bit concerning, but you can tell this guy just loved it and babied it and enjoyed it. Look how clean everything is. So seller says price is firm. 2013 BMW HP4 Competition, including HP4 forged wheels, carbon fiber, and fitted with a full Akrapovic race exhaust and headers. Those are expensive parts. Those are really expensive parts. Custom ghosted HP4 fairings as well as OEM fairings, Rizoma bits, clean title, no test rides. That makes sense without cash in hand and a proper license. Owned since 2016 and meticulously changed. Oil changed every 1,500 miles using Motul 300V. That's a bit ambitious. You don't need to change the oil that often unless you're just tracking and abusing the bike. He has a full set of plastics as well that I think you get with the bike, because I think he went for the full carbon fairings and all that stuff. To be honest, the photos are so like artsy fartsy that it's hard for me to really tell what's going on with this bike. So he's got a full list of mods right here. Samco radiator hoses is a nice touch. You only see that on track bikes and race bikes usually, but that's a really nice thing because the hoses sometimes expand or burst and a lot of crap can happen. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is certainly a last generation super bike, but that does not mean it's any bad thing. These are still beautiful in my opinion. They're still cool, and I think the HP4 is a pretty well sought after machine. I think 13.8 is pretty reasonable for it. I would maybe shoot him out an offer for 12 and see if it sticks. He says price is firm, but you never know how firm the price is. You know, this is a lot of bike though, so you gotta keep that in mind. This is gonna be a super fast street bike, super fast, you know, very capable machine on the track. So if that's the sort of thing you're looking for, then the BMW could be a great fit here. I think these are pretty cool. Price is pretty good. You don't see these come up for sale very often. And honestly, I thought it'd be a whole lot more money than this. So I'm gonna rate this one an 8 out of 10. It's a really nice listing, and let's keep it moving. All right, boys, one hand gives, the other hand takes. The cursed listings continue here, unfortunately. So 2013 Honda Goldwing converted into a reverse trike. It hurts my brain. It looks like a lawnmower. Why did this happen to this poor Goldwing? This might as well be a car now. This is so sad. So what do we got here? 2013 Honda Goldwing reverse trike R18 conversion, 6,500 miles, clean Texas title in my name. Bike has many extras. For more info, please contact at that phone number, which we will blur because we don't want to just put someone's phone number on the internet, right? Wow, this is so zany. I didn't even know that they made tricycle conversion kits for Goldwings. Wow. If someone in the comments can sound off and tell me what the purpose of this would be, I would love to know, because to me, it kind of feels like a bit of a crazy thing to do. $19,000 is also like, yikes. God almighty, that's a lot of money for a crazy trike. I mean, the buyer pool for this has to be like 3 guys, right? There's like 3 guys in the whole metro area that are like, yeah, you know, 19 grand for a trike, I'll do it. Why not? Because you've functionally taken all the good elements of a Goldwing and just removed them, you know? I also feel like the color isn't really quite matched to the front. You know, if you look at that right there versus the color of the bike, it's a little off, and it just, boy, it's just a very, very strange vehicle, isn't it? I can't imagine it's very fun. You've kind of taken the soul of a Goldwing away from it here. And truthfully, I don't know why this conversion happened. So I'm gonna rate it a 3 out of 10 and keep it moving. All right, boys, 2009 Kawasaki ER-6N. First of all, I forgot how ugly these bikes are. Holy moly, I forgot how ugly the late 2000s ER-6Ns were. This is basically the precursor to the Z650, Ninja 650 platform. These are the last generation, like I think 2 or 3 generations back at this point. And you can tell by the dash. Oh my lord, this looks like a Saturn's dash. This looks like a 2001 Honda Prius dash. Rough to look at this thing. These bikes, I think, like, fundamentally are pretty decent. You know, they'll work okay. They got the slightly boring parallel twin. This guy's got an exhaust on it. That's not going to sound good at all. But we have some damage on this. This bike clearly was dropped at some point, but he is pointing it out, which is, you know, not the worst thing in the world. $3,500, driven only 2,066 miles. It blows my mind when I see a motorcycle with such age. You know, 2009, that was 15 years ago. It only rode 2,000 miles. I mean, these things are designed to be like everyday commuter sort of bikes. They're not some Ducati you need to keep in the garage, you know? So let's see what the seller says. Up for sale is my 2009 ER-6N with low miles. You don't see too many of these bikes on the road. Yeah, holy crap, I really hope I don't. It is so ugly, dude. Oh my God, that's an ugly bike. Runs perfect, sounds awesome, and is pretty quick. Upgrades. Sport bars makes the seating position like a sport bike. Well, it just makes the clip-on sort of thing kind of lower, right? Because the rest of the geometry of the bike and the ergonomics is still naked bike, right? So let's call a spade, right? Barracuda windscreen, Dan Moto exhaust, tinted turn signals, brand new battery, 650R rear fairing, LED lighting all around. It has a rebuilt title due to a low slide with minimal damage. Only thing that was replaced was a fairing, signal light, and a frame slider. All of the damage is shown in the picture. 3,500 or best offer. I also have near brand new Dainese gear that we can negotiate in if the price is right. Thanks. This is very interesting. You normally don't get a rebuilt title based on just a couple of small low side damages like that. The only way that could happen is if the damage happened later in this bike's life and the insurance adjuster determined it wasn't worth it to fix it, and then you went through this whole thing to get it rebuilt. But you shouldn't have had to mess with anything with the title. So that's a bit of a red flag to me. This bike's story is a bit strange. Also, the fact that this guy clearly has brand new gear that he didn't want means that he probably just picked this thing up not too long ago. This bike also has very low miles, so it's a bit strange. This whole thing's seeming a little fishy to me, boys. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna rate this 2009 Kawasaki ER-6N a 6 out of 10. It looks like, from the surface of it, you'd say, yeah, it looks like a great bike. You pick it up, first time rider, nice little intro to motorcycling type of thing. And I would say yes. But the rebuild title and some of the mods and the story is a little fishy to me, and I would think twice about getting this motorcycle. Moving on.
I know a vast majority of you watching this channel don't own your own bike yet, and that's okay. Soak up the knowledge and enjoy yourself while you're here, my sweet squid in training. But did you know I give away motorcycles here on this channel? I've actually given away over 50 bikes valued at over $500,000 in the last 5 years. All you need to do to get entered is go to yammynoob.co, pick out a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt, a key tag, whatever you want, and every dollar you spend will be an entry to win, subject to a cool multiplier. It's the easiest, no commitment way to get entered to win. But if you want the best chance to win, you should become a member. Not only will you get automatic entries to win, but you'll also get access to our exclusive Discord server, spicy NSFW Yammy Noob content, and more. So head over to the website, get entered to win, and check it out.
All right, this was one I wanted to point out to you guys just so you can understand why we don't like going to dealerships to buy our first motorcycle. So 2018 Kawasaki Ninja 400 for $6,000. It has 1,684 miles on it, so it might as well be brand new, but a 6-year-old motorcycle nonetheless, going for over MSRP of a Ninja 500. We're just gonna double check that fact really quick. Yeah, so MSRP on a new Ninja 500 ABS is $56.99 to $58.99. So these guys, this dealership's trying to sell you a 6-year-old Ninja 400 for above MSRP of a Ninja 500. And you know they're gonna tack in freight and assembly on a 6-year-old bike. You know they're gonna try that on you because it's the dealer. Yeah, it says Texas Strong Power Sports. And again, the thing is clean and it's unmodified and it's fine. But guys, $59.99 for this. The only way they're doing that is because their dealership, they bought it on trade probably, and now they're trying to unload it onto somebody else. Don't fall for this. Look at the MSRP carefully, look at the listing carefully. Don't fall for something this silly that is going to put you in a bad situation, especially don't finance something like this because you're gonna be upside down on that bike immediately right off the lot. So I just want to point this one out to you guys in case you see this. Don't fall for it. Try to see who's selling it and don't go for the dealer if you can avoid it. All right, so this one I thought was interesting. 2008 Suzuki V-Strom, should be V-Strom, driven 24,000 miles, looks to have been taken care of reasonably well. The seller has very little information. No hay detalles en la moto título limpio. So he's saying there's no details and the title is clean. We have a video component. Let's check this out. Bike is idling nice. The V-Strom, I believe this one features the same motor as the SV650 and I think a similar frame. These bikes are actually, I mean, this is in good shape. You got the luggage, you got everything you need. I mean, if you just want to go for a big adventure, this is the bike to get, man. It looks really clean. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Idling fine. Let's see if we get a rev out of this guy. Hopefully we do. But it's in really clean shape. It's a good little toy, good little bike. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a rev. Doesn't look like it. So no, he did not rev it up, which is a little scary. 24,000 miles on the clock. I would have liked to have heard a rev out of this motorcycle. The video pretty much just reflects what we're seeing on here. But it is pretty clean. And $3,500 is a good deal for a 2008 Suzuki V-Strom 650. And these bikes will kind of do anything, man. You can tour with them, you can do some sporty riding with them, you can take the bags off and just go out and carve and have some fun. They're not too big that they have that big battle tank feeling that some sport touring bikes have. So to me, the V-Strom 650 fits a really nice bill for a bike that's similar to a Versys 650 or something like that, but has just a little bit more character, a little bit more panache, and is ultimately a little bit more fun to ride. I like that V-twin in the Suzuki quite a bit. So this one I'm gonna rate an 8.5 out of 10. I like this listing. Let's keep it moving. All right, boys, 2002 Kawasaki Ninja. We can't quite tell what sort of Ninja it is. I can't really see on the fairings or anywhere else. Let's see what the seller says. Runs amazing, nothing wrong with the bike. I don't want to sell it, but I have to because I have a newborn daughter and need the money. Kept up on maintenance, has had one previous owner. If interested, please contact me. Has Speedo tuner on it and a tune. Will also trade for a good truck or a Camaro. In cash, if you know how to tattoo, we can work something out. Well, that's interesting. That's very strange if you need the cash to take care of your newborn daughter, but you're like, yeah, I'll take a Camaro or some tattoos. I don't know about that. Have 2 helmets that I'll throw in for an extra $100. Never take anybody's used helmets. You have no idea what happened to them. We have a video component here. Let's see.
Okay, give me a second.
My friend is gonna turn it on. Start it right up. Ooh, torn seat. Gooch juice alert. Not good. All right, it fires up, which is good. We still can't quite tell what model of Kawasaki this is, can we? Let's see if maybe the fairings. No, it just says Ninja. What is this thing? It could be a ZX6, it could be ZX10, ZX7. I don't even know from back in the day. We don't have anything on there to tell us what it is. And the guide doesn't even tell us what it is, just Kawasaki Ninja. And honestly, the windshield here, this whole situation with the text, I swear this is a ZX7 with this weird like little fairing that it had. This bike has not aged well, I'll tell you that right now. And with this right here too, I really think this is a ZX7, but I also just, the writing leads me to believe that this bike maybe wasn't taken care of as well as it could have, or maybe just some questionable mods were done and it actually was taken care of pretty decently. But yeah, I'm gonna rate this one, I think a 4 out of 10. Probably a skip, probably not the bike you wanna get. $4,000 is a little spicy. $3,000, maybe we're talking, if you want that classic piss missile vibe, if you wanna go nuts with this thing, not the worst thing in the world. All right, boys, last on the list today, a very peculiar one, 1980 Honda Express. This is the most minimalist little scooter thing I've ever seen in my life. This looks just like some ancient Japanese scooter type of thing. Look at that tiny little motor back here. Tiny little situation. 1980 Honda Express running, no title, $650. Man, $650 for this. I mean, this is like $100, I mean, this decrepit old tiny little thing, this thing is 44 years old now. That's crazy. Come on, look at this, man. You can't try to sell me this for $650. This is definitely for the hobbyist, for the guy who just wants something to tinker around with, poke around, pop some bolts off of it and just check out the engine and just have some fun, If you're looking to start understanding how basic engine design and layout works, something like this or an old dirt bike or an enduro bike is great because it's so low stakes, it's so simple. Typically those are like air-cooled, 2-valve, single cylinder, very, very easy to understand all the very fundamental components. And then you see how more modern and more powerful motorcycles just build on that basic framework, right? Like you have the single cylinder, starter motor, transmission, like the whole thing just gets bigger and more complicated, but fundamentally it's still the same architecture. So if you want something to tool around with, play around with a little bit, maybe the 1980 Honda Express here is your ticket. This is not the worst motorcycle I've ever seen by a long shot. But boys, those are the bikes I picked today in Dallas, Texas. Let me know what you think down below if these are fun, if you enjoy these sort of listings and checking it out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later. You've made it to the end of another Yami Noob video. As a treat for you, I will clue you into the best way to support the show, and it's by going over to yaminoob.co and signing up to win this GSX 8R. It's not for very long, time is running out to win it, so make sure you head over to the website and go and check it out. But in the meantime, you can watch this next video right over here and keep indulging in some sweet, sweet squid content.